So I've noticed recently that I actually need some practice with my figures. My faces, however, have actually been improving over time, but that's probably due to the fact that I've been putting more effort into it and putting more focus on it. So now that I'm on this figure arc, I figured we'll go nice. I figured we'll go back to the nice drafting table-ish thing that I have. I want to share this with you as well. I did this earlier. Actually turned out pretty cool. I'm happy with the way this looks. And apart from that, we just did this awesome drawing, which I'm going to show you the whole process of now. So if you want to join along, go along with this and practice as well. The materials used today were just a simple pencil, HB pencil, and an eraser, piece of paper. So grab that. The references will be in the description below as always. And yeah, just hop on and get the drawing. No excuses. We're getting better this year. 2024 is the year we become masters of art. I'm a true believer in that, but we've got to put in the work. So let's go. Back at the normal table today. No more, no digital stuff today, right? I've got a nice reference here, and I'm going to be trying my best to get this done on this piece of paper that I have here. I have a couple sheets of just some paper ripped out of my notebooks, my old notebooks, sketchbooks, whatever you want to call them. And I've got this pretty simple reference, and I'm gonna just try my best to get this done. I'm focusing on figure studies recently, so I think we're gonna have a good time here today. I'm trying to kind of plan out a little bit how this is gonna look. So I'm going to put down some lines to indicate as much of this figure as possible, and even then I'm probably still not going to fit the entire thing as usual, but that's alright. I'm going to try and draw her spine as well. It's a practice I'm trying to do recently, and her knees will be somewhere around here, and then her legs down here, because obviously I'm not great at planning out my space, but I think the main focus is going to be the top part of the body. So that's what we're going to try and do. Now I want to focus on everything, and I'm trying out a different way of holding my pencil as well, just because I saw a Proco video on it, so I figured I will try it out, but I'll probably end up going in between the different styles of holding a pencil. It is the 14th of February today, so it's Valentine's Day. So for that, we're deciding to draw on paper for our love for traditional drawing. Maybe that's what we're gonna call it. Hopefully you can see this well. I've got a different setup going on a little bit, so actually I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit just so we can see as much as possible. And to be honest, I think I'm going to try not to focus on too many sort of details just yet. I think it's best I focus on getting the general shape of the figure in, and then after that we can think about what we're doing. So from here, the distance of the chest will be somewhere around here from what I can see on the reference. I chose a pretty standard pose, so nothing fancy, just something simple, just so we can learn like the body first rather than going straight for like some advanced like figures and stuff. So maybe this will be a better approach. So I'm trying to draw like a rib cage here, more or less. Trying to remember the studies we did before as well. They're probably going to come in handy. And I'm making sure that I'm looking at the reference as much as possible, you know, as you always do. And then imagine this like the rib cage going around. So from here on over here, let me know, guys, were you enjoying the style of the live streams? Because I actually enjoyed doing those quite a bit. I've had a couple days break of doing these sorts of videos just for now, just to sort of play around with some other stuff. And in the meantime, I got a new keyboard, which is fun. I ordered a very old Razer Black Widow. That was my favorite, probably my favorite keyboard I've ever owned. So I was like, hey, you know what? Let me get some nostalgia going. And I ordered myself a Razer Black Widow, which you're gonna hear in the videos from now on. So if you don't like that noise, I am sorry, but I like it. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite, this clicky keys, the blues or Razer greens in this case. I know I'm talking about keyboards, so you probably don't, not interested in keyboards, but right. Let's go back to the reference here, making sure that we try and connect things along, but I'm not trying to be too accurate. I'm obviously trying to be accurate here with these, but I'm not trying to get too many details in. That's what we're talking about here. The arms are going to be going down here, and the elbow goes somewhere around the middle here. So this is where like the waist starts meeting the hips, and we start going outwards a little bit. Looking at this reference, let's see if I'm connecting it well here. This is going to go outwards, connecting to here. We've got the hips connecting over here, and then the elbows, from what I can tell, literally at this middle point is where our elbows are going to be. So going straight from here, straight down. And same with here, this is the elbow is somewhere around here. So the best thing that you guys can do when you're drawing or painting or whatever is just find points of reference to go towards with your drawings. So like I am here, I'm trying to find a point of reference to connect my drawing to, and you can do the exact same. Cool, rib cage is here. And then we have the abdominal muscles somewhere around here. We've got the belly button in the middle. Yep, cool. And I'm making some rough lines, and I'll try and refine them later on, I guess. That's what we'll go for. Cool. Let's make a couple more marks here. I notice this one's going a little bit off. Might have to bring it in a little bit. And yeah, on the reference, that's what we've got going on. I'm gonna try and erase some stuff here. Cool. I do like this way of holding the pencil. It makes me feel more like an artist. Rather than just the usual. But yeah, if any of you saw the post that I put up on the community thing, I am kind of leaning towards doing some figure studies now, because I've noticed that my faces are actually getting a little bit better. They're not great yet, but they are getting better. So now I try to think, hey, what am I struggling with now? And turned out it was figures and getting figures right. That seems to be a problem for me now, so that is what I'm focusing on. The arm is coming in here, which the arm is more or less the length of this, so around this. So get our measuring stick, roughly around here. So arm should go around, somewhere around here, not there. I don't know, I never did this sort of stuff when I was drawing. I'm trying to think a little bit more now before I make a mark, but it's not always easy to think, talk, and also draw at the same time. But it's it's all a skill, and skills are here to be mastered and learned, and that's how we grow. So far, it's looking okay. I'm gonna put in, make sure I put in some hair here. Just a little bit at least. I'm thinking of getting some charcoal. You know, I was wondering recently and thinking, if I want to become like a master artist, like a really, really good artist, maybe I should go think about it the way that people used to. You know, try and work how people used to work in like the Renaissance era. Like, you know, obviously that's a pinnacle of God, that's a pinnacle of drawing and painting. You know, people were incredible at that, and the realism was beautiful. So, oh, screen's turned off. So maybe if I try to follow in their footsteps, try and do some studies of the masters and learn how they used to learn, maybe that would be a good approach for it. Because I am kind of a believer of the fact that if you want to be really good at even drawing like cartoons, you should nail down the realistic stuff first. I mean, like that should really be a priority, because if you know how to draw a human, like a real human, perfectly, you'll have no issue drawing them in the cartoon style. You'll probably have a much easier time doing that after you've got like your obviously this ties into fundamentals and everything, but once you've got all that, you'll have no issue trying to create a stylized drawing. Obviously it will take some time to develop that style, but with the fundamentals in place, I think that becomes a lot easier. So that's been my thing for a while now. You guys know that, you know perfectly well, that I'm all for the fundamentals, and that's the reason why we learn them on the channel. That's the reason why I'm learning them, and hoping that you guys join in at the same time. So they're all here for a reason. And when we get there, when we get through that reason, I think we'll be able to create some awesome stuff. So, alright, let's try and get the pelvic area, whatever it's called. Let's try and get that right here. So, I've almost got like this shape forming from here. So I'm trying to break this down into like a simpler shape. If I take this, we've got a cone-like shape forming here. And then her actual clothing ends around here. Is it here? Yeah. Somewhere around here. And then trying to get these shapes right. This holding your pencil like this technique actually helps you get some cleaner lines. Like it helps you create some nice variations and stuff. It's something you guys can try out. It's actually helping me out quite a bit. So this is where the rib cage is, more or less. So I guess our little rib thing before was a little bit off, but that's all right. They're guidelines for a reason. They're not there permanently, you know, they're here for you to change them around and for you to understand the structure underneath whatever you're drawing. Cool. Now we've got the legs coming in. Oh, I keep losing the grip of the pencil though. That's probably just me getting used to holding it like this. Cool. Knees are more or less here, which indicate like this. I found that whenever it comes to actually drawing the knees, that's where my like concentration falls, is because I never want to draw like the legs or the feet. So I guess I'll need to get to work on that at some point too. But we're doing a good job. I think this is going rather well. Let's try and get the shapes right, making sure I'm at a point with the YouTube stuff where I'm trying to think if there's some cool projects I can do, you know, something more creative rather than just these instructional videos. I'm definitely thinking about expanding this stuff a little bit and trying some other stuff, other videos, other attempts, other creative things. But my focus still at the moment is to just become a better artist, because that needs to be tip top. That's my purpose in life, is to become really good at this so I can then pass the knowledge on to other people. That's what I've come to. The conclusion I've come to recently is that in my life, what I want to do, so I want to become insane at this so that I can pass on that knowledge to others, and in any form, whether it's videos, courses, lessons, actual, like having my own school like this would be incredible, and I would love to do that. So naturally my day should align with that. Speaking of like setting goals, you know, I've made the videos on them, but I think it's the most important thing of setting any goals is that you find your purpose and you find what you want to do in life, which, you know, takes time and takes risks and takes experimentation. I think I've experimented quite a bit so far in life, but I'm still obviously very early on with it, and I'm still trying new things and seeing if they'll work. Like right now we're doing this series that I tried to do before, and it seems to have caught on a little bit and people are enjoying it. So from that experiment I found out, hey, maybe I want to do this. I want to do this really like properly. I want to do this for a long time. I want to do this officially, and I want to do it in the best possible way I can. Also, I realized I've screwed up the arm a little bit on the reference, and I'm trying to be a little bit more of a, well, not perfectionist, but I'm trying to be a little bit more picky with my drawings because I want to replicate them a lot more accurately now. I don't want to be at the stage when I'm just like saying, okay, that's all right. So I am trying a little bit harder here to make sure I'm making better decisions. But yeah, what was I talking about before? Sorry, that's wandering mind. Yeah, I think through like doing this experiment of doing a lesson like that, I found that this is what I want to do properly. And now my goal is to find ways to improve that every day and make sure I'm making it in the best way possible, learning how to do it so that it's as educational as possible, but also enjoyable for people. So I realize these long form videos, they're great and I love them, so that's why I love doing them, but maybe there's a better way to do them for others as well. So I'm in the process of figuring things like that out, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to stick to the core of knowing that this is what I want to do, and stick to the fact that I think it's important that you guys see this whole process as it is, even if it does have to be a long video, because if I start cutting this down, it's not going to be much of a lesson. It's just going to be cuts, and you might miss something important that could have literally saved your art. Like you could miss something that was just the tip you needed because I decided to cut this video down. So that's kind of the reason why these are always like long form. But I do want to make some more fun videos as well. Well, it's not saying this isn't fun, but like some more shorter videos, something a little bit more lighthearted, maybe, still with a good message, some more editing, just for me though. Like I wanna explore this sort of stuff, but the focus is art. I'm gonna throw this pencil somewhere in a minute. It keeps flying out my hand. Maybe I'm finessing it a little bit too much, but this is looking pretty good. I mean, we've refined it a little bit, and I might come in here with an eraser at some point, a little bit. We'll do some shadows, just understanding like the darker parts. This will be a darker part here. So yeah, it's all a journey. Everything's a journey. But I think the most important thing is that we just treat it as a journey and enjoy that journey rather than focusing on the goal or the outcome. I think the exploration is going to be a lot more fun than anything else. Do the lips a little bit here. Shadow on the top lips. Don't want to be too detailed here on the face because, well, we didn't spend this much time on anything else, so I wouldn't want to take the attention away from the rest of it yet. But, and also it's very hard to like do the details with this sort of I don't know if that looks good or not, but let's get the eyebrows in. Eyebrows, great way to figure out perspective in something. If you don't want to do like all these guidelines, you can use eyebrows as your guides. It's something King John G mentioned, and I thought it was genius. You can use your eyebrows as the point of perspective, or like deciding what perspective you should be in. I think that's awesome. It's a good tip. Let's get the ear. The hair should be a little bit more out like this. So yeah, some charcoal would be fun. I'm going to the store in a minute, so I might pick up some charcoal if they have it, because I feel it'll be wonderful for some gesture drawings or learning some gesture. But it's looking good. What I like about this piece right now that we're doing, so I think the proportions came out very well. Let's get some shadow going under here, because there's like some wrinkles in this bralette sort of thing. Just a couple of shadows. Don't want to get too carried away, but we are kind of just refining this a little bit. Shadow of the hand forming here. Just stabbed myself with a pencil. Overall, it's turning out to be a pretty good study. It's been good. Hopefully you guys can see it well. From where I can see, looks alright on the screen. But slightly different attempt, slightly different approach. Came out pretty good. It's important to learn these things. I'm trying to make sure I build up my mental imagery. I forgot the word because speaking. My mental library, that's the word. Yeah, so I'm making sure I'm trying to build that up. Good. Happy with that. I think that turned out awesome. Let me see if I can get a couple more things going here. Picking up the pencil and holding it like we normally would, just to go over some bits. See, this is like precision mode now. Like if you go into this is like your sniper scope if you're drawing. But because of it, I'm just going over things I've already gone over. I'm not even doing anything that could be useful right now. So I'll go back to my iron sights. Add those little shadows here. You can see the abdominals a little bit, but I'm not going to get too into it here because this is a lot of values that we would need to add for this to actually look good and for it to work. But I'm just going to go over some main shadow areas. Got a couple wrinkles here, which could be useful information. Definitely a darker thing going on here. There we go. And that's it. That's it right there. All right, stop refining. That's all right. We're here. We're here. Speaking, you'll see the reference on the screen. I'll make sure to put it up. But I think this actually turned out pretty good. Pretty good. It's good proportionally. That's what I like about it. Obviously, I've been looking at it a little bit differently. Angle-wise, if I stand up, have a look at it from a different angle, looks even better now. That's good. So yeah, if you want to ever check your work like that, that's a good way of checking it. Making sure that you stand up, look at it from a different angle, stand away a little bit. But I'm happy with that. So with that, I hope yours came out just as good, because you know, I want you to be joining in whenever we're doing this stuff. And if yours did come out very well, be sure to drop it into our Discord, which will be in the description below if you're not part of it already. Awesome community. I do promote it a lot in my videos, but that's just because it's a great place for me and for other artists. It's just a place that I've kind of always wanted in my life, and now I've got it. So I'm very happy with it. So if you do have your stuff to share, make sure you drop it in there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, whatever that will be. I'm hoping to do an art talk soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I'll see you later. Happy drawing and take care of yourself, and do some awesome figure studies.